Hi, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Between the Ropes Wrestling. My name's Steven, and I'll be taking the lead on this episode. So, last night was WrestleKingdom 13, main event featuring Kenny Omega and Hiroshi Tanahashi. In this match, spoiler alert, Kenny Omega lost the IWGP World Heavyweight title to Tanahashi. Rumor has been that his contract is up at the end of January, and so that leads to a lot of speculation. Every other wrestling podcast or site is going to be putting out what they think is going to happen, so I figured our first episode should be following right in line with them. Now, there's pretty much three options, or three schools of thought of where Kenny Omega is going to go. The first is he's going to follow his friends in the Elite to All Elite Wrestling. This would be joining Cody, Hangman Page, and the Young Bucks into the new promotion they just created. Another thought is that he stays with New Japan. Obviously, just lost their title at their biggest event of the year. So he has things that he could do there. The other thought is the WWE. Everyone has their own opinion, and I have mine, and mine is that Kenny is going to go to the WWE. Now, like I said, he lost the title last night, so really there's nothing holding him in New Japan anymore. He's not the title holder. He doesn't really have much unfinished business other than going after that title once again. He was the U.S. champion, the first ever U.S. champion in New Japan, and he was a one-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So could he continue to collect belts in New Japan? Sure, he definitely could. But I think that that's really below him. He said that he wanted to have a match on the grandest stage with Kota Ibushi, so that's really the only thing that I could see happening is he waits around to get that match at Tokyo Dome with Kota, but I really don't think that he would sacrifice his career and all the things that he could do just for that one match, especially if he could do it somewhere else. So that kind of does away with the New Japan thought. Also, I don't think they could pay him what he's really worth. Yeah, New Japan has money, and they've been starting to make bigger offers to people, but I think that when it comes to Kenny Omega, he is worth some big coin, and I think that WWE is pretty much the only place that could offer that. Obviously, All Elite has the Khan family behind it, which is worth a lot of money, but I don't know if they're willing to throw that much money at one person. So back to why not New Japan, why not All Elite Wrestling? So going back to last night, Kenny's entrance was unbelievable. He came out to his usual theme, and then it stopped. There were sounds of thunder, his video package changed, and like a little 8-bit gaming video came up with Tanahashi in the ring and Kenny walking down and cool dialogue, and a new theme started playing. Kind of 8-bit, think of TJP, kind of like that. A little more Kenny Omega themed, but still pretty close. He had new gear. It was a one-winged angel, but it was like Final Fantasy-esque. He had armor, shoulder plates, a chest plate. He had the one wing, a sword. It was unbelievable. Gloves on too. It was super cool. He had the Young Bucks in tow, and they were kind of leading him to the ring and seeing him off for this match. With all of this big show, I think that not only was that a cool entrance and a new entrance, but I think it's his last. And I think the Young Bucks being the one to see him off was very, very symbolic, because I think not only were they seeing him off for the end of his title reign and for that specific match, but I think they were seeing him off for good, because they are obviously signed with All Elite Wrestling, and they are in very high-level positions there, and I think that Kenny is going to the WWE, and so this was really the last moment that they were all going to share. I also think that All Elite Wrestling and New Japan are going to have a very, very strong working relationship. So if he wanted to do things with one or the other, it really wouldn't matter where he signed, because the opportunities are there with both. However, I still don't think that All Elite Wrestling is his landing point. Anything he could do in New Japan, he could do in All Elite Wrestling, and vice versa. Like I said, I think they're going to be working pretty strongly together, and therefore it's going to be the same people. The same people he's been fighting for the past couple of years are the people he's going to be fighting with. The Ring of Honor crew, the New Japan crew, and now, just under a new name, All Elite Wrestling. I think that they're all going to work strongly together, and therefore I really don't think that it's Kenny's place. At the end of the day, All Elite and New Japan are still indie wrestling scenes, and Kenny has gotten to the point where he is above that. He is better than that, and he's been built up to be that. He has been built up to be one of the greatest wrestlers in the world right now, and I think if he signs with another indie promotion, it's kind of going against that. He's not old, but he's getting up there. And so I think it's time for him to move on to what more he can do, and I think the only place for that is the WWE. Now, we're going to touch on his contract offer in a little bit, but the first thing is his contract right now. So Cody and the Young Bucks and Hangman Page, their contracts were up in the beginning of January, January 1st, and that's when the All Elite Wrestling video came out about their new promotion. Kenny's is not up until the end of January, which coincides rather conveniently with the Royal Rumble. I don't think this was intentional when the contract was originally signed. However, it's pretty convenient and works out pretty well for this theory. We saw AJ Styles debut in the Rumble. We've seen many other debuts in the Rumble, returns in the Rumble, and I think Kenny Omega is going to fall in line with that. I think Kenny will debut in the Royal Rumble. There is another theory that he's going to come out and cost AJ Styles the match against Daniel Bryan, and therefore setting up kind of the Heads of Bullet Club feud in WWE, but I think that that's a little bold for the WWE, and they don't really like bold. So, I think Kenny will debut in the Rumble. Now, why would he go to the WWE? Obviously, the timing makes it easy, but what would make him want to? And I think a big thing is kind of touching on the AJ Styles thing is there's a lot of dream matches there for Kenny. Obviously, AJ Styles, former leader of Bullet Club, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, he worked very closely with them in New Japan, and don't forget about Finn Balor. He is also a former leader of Bullet Club, and although he and Kenny never really were there at the same time, that's still a storyline that could be explored, and I would kill to see that match. There's also been the feud between Kenny and Seth Rollins on Twitter, both of them calling themselves the best wrestlers in the world, and I know a lot of people would really like to see that match. It's also easy to touch on Kenny's relationship with Xavier Woods and the New Day through the Up Up Down Down gaming channel. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. You could have him team with AJ, team with Finn, team with the club, and then face the New Day. He could align with the New Day. He could face all of these people alone. It's really an open book for Kenny Omega if he decides to go to the WWE. There's so many matches there. I mean, I talked about Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega would be a killer match. Seth Rollins, like I said, you have all these talented people because the WWE signs everybody that Kenny would be able to face people from the past that have improved or people he's never had the opportunity to face before. I mean, imagine a Kenny Omega Drew McIntyre match. Like, how amazing would that be? Yeah, the dream matches for him are they're endless. Anyone there would be amazing to see face Kenny Omega. And he has all these New Japan titles. He's fought in Ring of Honor. He's fought all throughout the world, but he doesn't have any WWE titles, and that's a new place that he could continue to build his legacy. And I think that legacy building is kind of done for him right now. Anything he would to do would kind of be below him at this point. So we've touched on the matches, we've talked on his contract timing. Now I think it's finally time to get around to his new contract offer. So there's no confirmed numbers yet. However, rumor has it that the WWE has reached out and made a quote-unquote huge contract offer to Kenny Omega. Obviously, the WWE wants him. Why wouldn't they? He's the greatest wrestler in the world. So they were probably willing to throw a lot at him, especially since rumor has it that the Khan family is not afraid to throw their money around. If Kenny likes money, which I'm sure he does, it's just another reason to go. New Japan can pay him, but they definitely cannot pay what the WWE can. Not only this, but the exposure he would get. He's already a worldwide star, and he's in an indie promotion. If Kenny Omega were to go to the worldwide leader in sports entertainment, his exposure would be off the charts. His merch sales would increase, his notoriety. He says he wants to be a professional gamer and a celebrity gamer. This is an easy way to make that happen. More people will know him if he goes to the WWE. There's really no reason for him not to go. Does he want to spend time with his friends? Yeah, probably. But he's also friends with the New Day and AJ Styles and the club, so it's not like he doesn't know anybody in WWE. He might go to All Elite, he might go back to New Japan. I just think the most likely and the smartest scenario is Kenny Omega goes to the WWE. Well, I'll post a video after the Royal Rumble saying either I'm an idiot and I'm wrong or I told you guys so. Anyway, that's what I think is going to happen with Kenny Omega, and I hope you guys join us next time for Between the Ropes Wrestling. Bye!